We know what it looks like and we're excited by how it's being engineered, but what is it like to drive? Welcome back to Building the Grenadier. I've come to check out the Grenadier Prototype Tour. It's a global series of experience events that gives the likes of you and me the chance to get up close and personal with the Grenadier almost a year before it goes on sale, and that's incredibly unusual in the motor industry. But INEOS Automotive says that being so open now, whilst the vehicle's still in development, is absolutely critical to it delivering the kind of off-road utility vehicle that customers around the world are crying out for. It's slightly surreal, Mark, being inside a moving Grenadier. What amazes me is that the fact that only 3 years ago this was a blank sheet of paper. I've said it a million times, but to get it to this level in this amount of time and to produce something that's as good as this. I mean, it's not perfect yet. There's things that have got to change still, but that's the whole point. It's still in development. But even at this stage, this is remarkable.
It's almost there, and with the opportunity of some fine tuning, this vehicle is gold standard, to be honest. This gearbox is totally seamless. It will change gear much more accurately than a human being, to be honest. However, if there was enthusiasts and they like to use the gears and they want to, override the gear, well, you can do that as well. You can Tiptronic it and then tell the gearbox what to do. So it has the best of both worlds. If you look at the future terrain, we've got quite a steep descent coming up. I can literally just drop it into first gear on the Tiptronic.
So we're in first, low, centre diff-lock.
Yeah, and
foot off everything?
Off the brakes, foot off everything, and that's got perfect vehicle control. And that is gold standard as far as I'm concerned. And even with weight, so I've been testing this vehicle with 4 adults in here and kit in the back, the vehicle will still maintain composure on a descent like that. There is a hill descent control on this for when you're in higher range.
Right.
So if you was in higher range, you could use a hill HDC button, which gives you that automatic braking from the descent.
So how have you found the power delivery then? Because obviously a lot of effort went into recalibrating the engine specifically for Grenadier.
It produces a huge amount of torque. And torque is everything in an off-road world. You don't want the power of a Bugatti Veyron, you want the torque of a tractor when you're in an off-road environment. The way it delivers the drive, it's just totally seamless. And the engine and gearbox are proven units, so they've been around a long time. And to elect this motor with this gearbox, this ZF gearbox, is a marriage in heaven. So it just works perfectly off-road. It just feels really planted and secure. Which as a driver is a great feeling, isn't it? That's incredible. Yeah, I mean, I'm always excited when I jump into this.
That's brilliant.
I test a lot of vehicles for the military, and I've done it with the fire service and police and whatever. And in terms of off-road, I've been exposed to quite a lot of different platforms, and I was extremely excited when I drove this for the first time.
Back at base camp, I catch up with Amy Taylor to find out more about the Prototype Tour.
What an amazing location to find as well, because it gives so much diversity in the terrain that you can drive the Grenadier over.
Yeah, and that's what we want. We want to be able to show the capability of the vehicle. Although it's in its prototype stage, we can, take it off-road, do dynamic routes and show people what they've got to look forward to.
What's the feedback been from, because you've been running these for a while now, so what's the general feedback been? Yeah,
feedback has been amazing so far. Just being a passenger, they can kind of see how it performs with a professional driving it. The opportunity to see the prototype at this stage, I think, is a really exclusive experience.
Folk have been able to see, the interior reveal, the exterior reveal, all that's been online in the films we've made and everything. But I mean, this is the first time people have actually been able to get in a vehicle and with it driven. What's their reaction been when they've got out?
I mean, the reactions have been amazing. To actually see it in the flesh and then get to be a passenger. As a passenger and having a test ride, it's been great, but they really do want that test drive. And so that'll be the next stage where we actually invite people to drive it.
So it's not just the UK, this is very much a global tour.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've started in the UK and Germany, and we'll be going through the rest of Europe, also Sub-Saharan Africa, Australia, the Middle East and the US.
Having been driven around in the Grenadier as a passenger, it's now my turn to get behind the wheel of this extraordinary prototype.
Tell you what, it was impressive there, but I'm looking at your face and going, it's going to be even more impressive here, isn't it? Nice driving position, isn't it?
Yeah.
The fact that you haven't got a big console in front of you, great forward view.
Yeah, in terms of off-road, you need to be able to have a clear view of the future terrain, and that's really important.
Feels completely effortless.
Yeah.
Feels like you're gliding.
It does, yeah.
Honestly,
yeah,
it feels.
it does,
Almost, I know the better description. It feels almost like you're a hovercraft.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
You're
yeah.
almost floating
Yeah.
over it. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
What a joy to drive.
Yeah. All the components work really well together, you know, and the beam axles, that's a simple system, but the way that it's been tuned by Magnus Steyr just gives a beautiful ride. So with all those components together, you just got a really smooth platform, and that's important.
The engineers have done an extraordinary job, haven't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Everything feels as if it's properly engineered.
In terms of these road shows, we've had exposure with professional users, enthusiasts, lifestyle, all people that use four-wheel drives in different forms and different ways. But what you're getting is all that information from a huge range, a huge sector of people, and it's really important information.
I tell you, the really strange thing is that I sort of having to stop and go, I'm actually driving a Grenadier. I've seen so many images and pictures and all the reveals of the interior, the exterior, the underneath, the rolling chassis. Actually to be driving
A working example, yeah.
It's amazing.
At the end of a brilliant day, I catch up with some of the invited guests to hear their first impressions of the Grenadier off-road.
So you all got back in one piece and smiling. So that's good. I hope it was the Grenadier and not the fact that we're offering you a burger. What did you think about actually going out in the Grenadier for a drive?
Very smooth. Yeah, that was my first impression. I don't think I've been in a vehicle as smooth as that for many years.
The way in which it both handled the train, also the comfort that went with that, went hand in hand. And, you know, in a sense, you shouldn't get both of those things, but somehow with the Grenadier you do, which was a pleasant surprise and really exceptional and great to see. So it was a delight, it really was.
The most impressive thing for me was the quietness, because normally we shout at each other, especially if we're in the back. Can you speak up? You know, you can hardly listen to the radio, and in that it was just so quiet. I was really, really impressed.
How smooth it was going down the country lanes. It'd be great for us every day. I'm up and down farm drives most days, and some of them are terrible. When you're on a bumpy track all day, it gets a bit tiresome.
The ride quality on both, if you went to a short gravel track and going quite fast, and it was very composed under acceleration, and over the sort of undulating ground, when you applied the power, you didn't get any sort of axle tramping or bouncing or shuddering through the axles. Really, really smooth.
You know, I just think they've really got it right, the way they've set it up. It was so smooth, you know, you could hardly hear it, and the power, it was just great. I just can't wait to get behind the wheel and have a go myself.
It's great, let me tell you. You know, it's a pretty brave move to give these Grenadier prototypes such a public outing at this early stage. But I also think it's a very smart move, because as potential customers, people like us are being given the opportunity to be a real part of the Grenadier story. INEOS Automotive is making us feel as if we own a bit of this extraordinary off-roader way before we can actually buy a whole one. And I think that's really clever. See you next time. Don't forget, reservations open in October.